let's review our angles really fast. So we have complementary. Complementary angles are two angles that add up to 90 degrees. So when we look at this picture, this box means this is a right angle, and a right angle is 90 degrees. So 60 plus 30 is 90. Next we have a supplementary angle, and a supplementary angle are two angles that add up to 180 degrees. So from this side right here all the way around to this side is 180. And if you think about it, if you start right here and go all the way around, that's a 360 degree spin. So half is 180. A line is 180 degrees. 130 plus 50 is 180 degrees. So that's supplementary. Vertical angles happen when we have two lines that intersect. So these two black arrow lines intersect, and vertical lines mean that the angles opposite each other are equal. So 35 and 35, 145 and 145. And if you notice, all four of these angles will add up to 360, like a circle. And if you look at your line this way, a line is 180, and 145 plus 35 is 180. Same with this line. They will add up to 180. The last relationship is adjacent. An adjacent relationship is two angles that are next to each other. They share a vertex and they share a side. Okay? It can be any angle. It can be two angles that make an acute angle. It can be two angles that make an obtuse angle. It can be two angles on a line like a supplementary angle. But as long as they share a vertex and a side, they are adjacent. Okay, so now let's look at our notes for today. So we are given these pictures and we need to match them up. So the first one is complementary. And remember, complementary is two angles that add up to 90 degrees. So that's this one right here. This box is a right angle and it's 90 degrees. So those ones match up. Next is vertical. Those are the two intersecting lines. And you can think of vertical because there's four V's created. So V, vertical. Next is adjacent. Adjacent is two angles together that share a vertex and a side. So this one's the adjacent angles. And supplementary is two angles that add up to 180. And I know that a line is 180 degrees. Okay? And then it wants you to find the angle measurements that are not given. So a line adds up to 180 degrees. So if I do 180 minus that 51, I will get x, and that's 129 degrees. So x is 129 degrees. Complementary adds up to 90. So 77 and something will give me 90. I can do 90 minus 77, and I will get x is 13 degrees. And I can double check these because 129 plus 51 is 180, and 77 plus that 13 will give me 90. Vertical angles across are the same. So if this is 43, the one directly across is also 43. And then I can remember that two angles on a line add up to 180. So I can do 180 minus 43. And I will get 137 degrees. So A is 137 degrees. My last one is adjacent, and this one I do not have enough information. I don't know if what this total is, so I don't know what X or Y are. Question mark, I don't know. Not enough info. So these next ones might look a little bit harder, but I want you to remember we only know how to find angles from complementary, vertical, and supplementary. Adjacent doesn't necessarily tell us much in this situation. So I'm going to remember complementary, vertical, and supplementary for these next ones. So when I look at number 1, I see a straight line, and I know that a straight line is 180 degrees. So these three angles, 1, 2, and 3 have to add up to 180. 180 minus 41 minus 35. will give me 104 degrees. So W is 104 degrees. Next one, number 2, vertical angles. So angles opposite each other are the same. W is 35. These two angles are on a line. See the line right above my finger? And a line is 180 degrees. So I can do 180 minus 35. And I will get 145 degrees for X. Okay, when I look at this one, my first thought goes right here. This is a 90-degree angle. So this W and this 35 need to add up to 90. 90 minus 35 is 55 degrees. And if this W is 55, this W is also 55. I have a 90-degree angle, right angle. So 90 minus 16 is going to give me 74 degrees. So this right here has to equal 74. But I have 2x, so I need to divide 74 by 2, and that is 37 degrees. Each x is 37. So 2 times 37 plus 16 will be 90. Okay, one of our goals today is to be able to tell from 3 given side lengths if it will create a triangle. And in class, we use some sticks to realize that if I have a stick like this, and I have 2 really short sides, they don't touch, they don't reach, and I will not get a triangle. So what we decided was that our 2 shortest sides, when you add them together, have to be greater than my longest side. So my 2 shortest sides, when added together, have to be greater than my longest side. They can't be equal, because if they're equal, then I just have a line on top of a line. I don't have a triangle. So I'm going to look at my 3 sides and figure out my 2 shortest ones. So this is a short one, and this is my short one. And when I add those together, I get 13. And 13 is greater than my longest side, so this is a triangle. I'm going to look at my 3 numbers, find my 2 shortest sides, add them together. 19 plus 12 is 21, and 21 is greater than 12, so this makes a triangle also. I'm going to look at these 3 numbers, find my 2 shortest sides. 3 plus 3 is 6. 6 is not greater than 7. So these 2 sides would not touch, they would not close. This would not make a triangle. My 2 shortest sides, I add them together, and I get 5. Well, 5 is equal to my longest side. And I don't want it to be equal, I want it to be greater than, so this would not create a triangle. This would create a line on top of a line. Okay, I have 3 of the same sides, so I'm just going to pick 2 of them. 4 plus 4 is 8. 8 is greater than 4, so this would make a triangle. Okay, so just to recap, if my 2 shortest sides are greater than my longest when they're added, then it will make a triangle. Okay. In class, we watched a really good video on why the 3 angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees. So if you have time, I would suggest watching that video. It's on Canvas. It's a video of a gentleman ripping up paper triangles, and he's proving why the angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees. Okay? All triangles. So if I know that a triangle adds up to 180 degrees, and I'm given 2 angles, I can find the 3rd angle. I do 180 minus 51 minus 36, and I will get 93 degrees. So this angle, angle Q, is 93. 180 minus 37 minus 63, and that is 80 degrees. So this angle U is 80 degrees. And if I want to double check myself, like especially on a test, I can go back and add up these three and see if I get 180. Number 3, 180 minus 118 minus 33. That is 29 degrees. Angle Y is 29 degrees. 180 minus 86 minus 47. That is 47 degrees. 180 minus 46. This angle is a right angle, and a right angle is 90 degrees. So I'm going to subtract that 90 degrees, and I will get 44 for angle B.